Hi, my name is Goodwin.
And I'm Gill.
We've worked together on our AS media production, which is the opening titles to an action movie.
Yeah, we decided to work together because we worked together on a few different projects at GCSE level. Similar sort of stuff, just a bit less technical. We've also done a few videos for school, like advertising certain subjects and things, and in the past we tend to work well together, so we thought we'd do this one together. The idea came from, well, it kind of stemmed from a piece of music. I'm in a band, and a couple of the guys wrote a piece, and I heard it, and I thought that'd work really well, like in an action movie. And when we saw the title of the task, we thought, well, we've got to tie that in somehow, and just thought of a few ideas and decided to elaborate on them.
This is very different to most productions because usually you find that the music's written around the video, whereas we were working around the music, which was different, but we thought it worked in the end, so yeah. Well, in the past I've done a lot of producing video editing wise on software such as Adobe Premiere Pro and Premiere Pro 2, which we're very lucky to have at Emirates here, whereas Joe took on the role of writing and directing the video.
I guess I did that because basically I had a lot of ideas when I heard the music, and it was all, I could see how I wanted it to look in the end. So it was just, if I took the directing role, then because I've already got quite a vivid picture of it in my head, then maybe I'd be able to produce it. And I think it turned out quite well, I guess, yeah.
The other thing we were lucky with was that we could sort of dip into each other's roles as well. Like, you helped me out with the editing, you suggested certain things, and then when we're actually filming it, when I was filming, you like running up and down and suggest different things, and we tried different things out. So yeah, it worked well.
I think it's a pretty good collaboration overall. It was we were really lucky when it came to picking somewhere to film, because we planned on filming on a certain day anyway, and it just happened to snow really quite heavily. And as you can imagine, it was really atmospheric. I mean, fairly thick snow, and running through the snow and so on. It didn't really matter where we filmed, it made it atmospheric. So we just filmed around my house, basically, because it was the most convenient place to film.
We also filmed in the school. You notice that in the video it shows Joe sat in an office where he realises someone knows about the missing girl, and that was filmed in the school. So we sort of mixed two different settings and tried to make the audience think that it was all one. So hopefully that looks good in the end here.
There wasn't too much in the way of difficulties, because I've mentioned the resources here at Emirates are brilliant, and we really are so lucky to have them. So technical difficulties, not so much. I think the only one I can really remember is we were editing and we noticed that we just missed a little bit of footage that we needed to make it flow, and the snow had gone, and we didn't really know what to do with that, so we just basically had to find a shot that we weren't really intending on using but just happened to work, and managed to get away with it more than anything, to be honest.
Yeah, one of the issues that we did have, which we quickly realised, was that between turning the camera off and turning it back on, it rewinds a couple of seconds, and we lost a couple of seconds of each shot, but we picked up on that one pretty quickly and got round that. So again, very lucky, really.
I think how it ended up was quite an achievement, because as we mentioned, we had the music first and filmed the clip to the music, which, as I say, it isn't usually done like that, and there's a reason for that. It was quite difficult to make the footage match in terms of the pace of it. The song starts off slow, and we have quite slow footage, and then obviously when the song comes in more full, the action's a lot faster. And I think the fact that we managed to show footage in the same sort of tempo throughout as the song, I think that was quite the achievement, really.
Yeah, I think another thing that we did well was the fact that when Joe has this picture in his head that how he wants things to look, and then I'm there filming it, there's no lack of communication. If he doesn't like the way it's done, he'll tell me, and if I don't like the way he's planned this, I'll tell him. So that's another thing that went well really in producing the video. So. I think one thing we certainly would have looked at again if we'd have gone back and reshot everything would have been a shot at the end. You notice Joe's in an empty room ripping photos off the wall. That was actually my dad's empty house, which we were lucky to find really. We could have gone for something more dramatic, like a bunker or something like that, and given it that extra edge. But then there's many issues with that, and actually finding one would have been another issue. So, but we would have looked at that if we'd have gone back in the day again. I
think the other thing as well is I did a very brief questionnaire just of a GCSE media class, seeing what they thought of the video, and a couple of them mentioned the lack of dialogue in it. There's no actual direct speech or anything, it's only the music, and at the end there's the heavy breathing. But because of that, a couple of them thought it was a music video, and I could see where they were coming from, because it is purely the music and the titles as well, obviously, but I could see where they were coming from. So maybe if we introduce some speech, maybe when he gets to the office, someone says hi or anything, just to make it a bit more obvious, it's more about the characters and it's not a music video. I think, in general, we're both very pleased with how it turned out. It does come across as quite professional, and we've used a whole variety of different techniques in there to achieve, well, what we've done really. I think the audience, when we showed that class, the GCSE class, I think they responded to it quite well, quite positively. There's not too much in the way of regrets that we wish we'd done this and we wish we'd done that. We were quite happy with how it turned out, and I think.
Yeah, well, I think one thing you will find is that like the techniques and stuff we'll discuss more in our full evaluations. So we'll discuss how we use them to our advantages and their effect. Okay.